Hi, and welcome to hot and sunny but stormy Florida. It is the end of July right now, and July and August typically are the hottest months with the highest humidity. Now, it has been super hot this week and dry, so we're very thankful for this thunderstorm that just rolled through. I want to talk about 3 pros and cons of living in Orlando. When I moved here in 2023, there were a few things that I kind of went, I wish someone would have told me about this when I moved here. And no one did. So hopefully you find this video valuable and you think about moving here and you're thinking, wow, these are the things that are really valuable to me before I make the decision on whether I want to move there. Or if you are planning to move here, go, oh, okay, so I am glad that you told me this, so now I know. So firstly, we're going to talk about the hot topic, the weather. So as you all know, summers are hot. Yes, it's hot and it's humid. If you have not been to Orlando in July and August, it is hot. I really didn't know what that meant until I moved here and walked out in July one morning and went, oh, this is what they mean by hot and humid. It is sticky, you walk out, you immediately start sweating. There's just no helping it. So here is something that you get to know once you live here. It's my 3rd summer in Orlando, and you kind of figure out, okay, when do I go for my walks? When do I go to the park? Those will not be during the morning or in the afternoon when it's the hottest. You'll go typically at night after the sun sets, like 6, 7 o'clock. It will still be hot, but it just won't be that scorching sun coming down on you. So it'll be more bearable to go to the parks or even your walk or do any outside activity at that time. The other thing nobody mentioned to me was that Central Florida is the lightning capital of North America. Now, I knew there was lightning. I did not know how severe it was. So this year has been pretty bad, and a few homes in our neighborhood have actually been struck by lightning this year. So we had to get an electrician out to put in surge protection for our homes. So that meant putting surge protection on our electrical panel, on our AC, because that is one thing you do not want in the summer, is your AC to go out by any means. Your AC is your best friend and you cannot live without it here. We also had to put it on our water heater. Now, with the new homes, what they're doing lately is they're putting in tankless water heaters. Some homes still get them in the garages, but we have a tankless one, so we had to put a surge protector on that. And we also had to put a surge protector on our garage. Now, we have a detached garage, and one thing our builder sadly didn't do, and we had to do this ourselves, is ground our garage, because your home typically should be grounded, but sadly our garage was not. Now, hurricanes. So because we're not on the coast, we typically don't get hurricanes that are, your category 3 or 4 or 5 even. Usually by the time they get to us, it's more like a tropical storm, which means just a lot of rain and wind, and it can last for a few hours. Now, let's talk about the beauty of living here and the weather. Mid-October to, I would say, about mid-May is when the weather is just perfect all the time. No humidity. It's in between like 60s and 80s, depending on the month. And it's just a really great time to live here. It's great to go outdoors, do anything. The parks are great. They're crowded that time of the year because typically that's when it's, Christmas and spring break. So the crowds in the parks will be more, but it'll be more bearable to deal with those crowds because the weather would be amazing. So that is the pros and cons about Florida weather. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the traffic. So there is a main road going through Florida, and it's called the I-4, and it is a very busy road. It goes right through Central Florida, below Disney. So a lot of people choose to stay close to Disney, but keep in mind that where you live, it will affect how your traffic is going to be. Now, They have added lanes to the I-4 close to Champions Gate, and I have seen some relief to that traffic. Now, there are other options that you can do. There's the Turnpike, there's the 429, and there's a lot of by routes that can get you places that you don't have to go on the I-4. But if you live in that like Celebration area, Champions Gate, you kind of sometimes don't have a choice but to take the I-4. So yeah, just keep that in mind when you are looking at moving here. But like I said, there are the roads, they're great, and you can just take them. But here's the other thing. There's a running joke in Florida, and it goes, no matter where you are, everything is 30 minutes away. So when we first moved here, the Uber driver told us, when you drive on these roads, you have to have 4 eyes. And I was like, what do you mean I have to have 4 eyes? And he said, well, you have to have eyes looking to the front and to the sides and to the back at all times. And I can tell you, he was not wrong. So at first it was like, oh gosh, how do I drive here? But eventually you figure it out and it just becomes your new norm. So the last thing I kind of wish somebody would have told me before we move here is that you have to have a budget specifically for going to the theme parks, because that is what you want to do when you first move here. You want to go every single day. We did. We went almost every single day if we could, or, you know, weekends we would go Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And eventually we were like, oh, wait, hang on. This is a little bit pricey and we might have to adjust how we do this. So eventually we just started going on maybe a Friday night or a Saturday or just a Sunday. And then the other days we would, you know, maybe visit a resort and just walk around. But, you know, other than theme parks, Orlando has so much to offer. But you know, there are things around here that you can do, like go to the beach and stuff that doesn't necessarily cost you money. But yes, have a budget ready to go to the theme parks. So those are kind of the 3 things that I wish somebody would have shared with me before moving here. There are a lot more, so I'll share them with you as we go along. And as you can see, you know, my hair was beautiful before I did this video, and then a thunderstorm came and the humidity, and yes, then your hair won't look as beautiful as it did before you left the house. So please follow along. I will share more about, you know, the neighborhoods in Orlando and Disney stuff and just things you need to know when moving here. So please follow along, subscribe, and I will see you again next week.